episode 8, Politicking with Jira Larry Love. Kind of a last minute show today. It was just going to be me and Larry. Then there was some technical issues at the studio. But as fate would have it, we're able to bring on a guest today. And I am very, very excited. One of my all-time favorite people we have on here, Larry. Larry, you're better at presenting the flowers. Can you present some flowers for our lovely guest, your favorite person from the state of Indiana of all time and one of the best people out there? Who do we have today, Larry?
We have the illustrious, gorgeous, smart, articulate Jen Mitchell, former Collier County School Board member. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It is my honor to be here.
This is why Larry's better with the ladies than I. You did a great presentation. Absolutely.
Is that where Larry Love came from, Larry?
Very, very close.
I thought it was the smile.
It was the smile,
as Tim would say.
Yeah, it's the smile.
It's the smile.
You know,
Jen, it's such a pleasure having you with us today.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you. So let's kind of, I don't know how far back you go with Jen. I kind of got the pleasure to meet Jen a couple years ago. There was a school board race. Some people might remember. It was a little volatile. Spicy is a good word for it. You want to talk? We'll kind of go back and because you were incumbent school board member at that time, running for re-election, if I'm correct.
That's right.
So if you want to just kind of rewind and how you got started on the school board, and then we'll kind of talk about that election a little bit too.
Yeah. So back in 2017, a group of folks came to me and asked if I would consider running for school board. In 2018, they knew me from my time in Collier County Public Schools as a parent volunteer. And so I agreed to do that, did some homework about the district, some of the things that were going on in the district, and decided I would jump in and roll up my sleeves and get to work.
And you were probably, it was probably an unfortunate time to be a school board member, I would say, with the whole COVID.
Probably.
Right? I mean, that you're handcuffed at that point. And I know it was a stressful year just from a parent aspect of it, having your kid at school. And you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, got a lot of the blame. I guess you could say people who, didn't believe the school should be closed, which I necessarily didn't think they should be either. But you guys, it's not like you guys just woke up and said, we're going to shut down the schools. We're going to do a mask mandate, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So I think it's important for everybody to understand we followed the lead of the governor every step of the way. From closing down that March of 2020, we came back from spring break, right? And it was announced that we weren't going to be back in the classroom. So we scrambled, got computers out to all of our students, all 48,000 at that time, and began very quickly picking up where we left off so that our kids weren't left hanging for the end of that school year. But also knowing that regardless of what the governor ultimately decided, we were going to lobby to make sure that we were back in school in person for that fall, because we know that the best place for kids is in the classroom, not on the computer. So, but again, we followed the lead of the governor every step of the way. One of the biggest issues was obviously the masking. That was very controversial. And there was an emergency order from the Department of Education written in conjunction with the governor's office, emergency order 0607. I'll never forget it. Districts are subject to the advice and orders of the local health department. And so basically we were hamstrung. We were tied to our local health department. And like I believe 66 of the 67 counties, health departments said, if you want to open your schools back up, the kids have to have masks. So didn't take that lightly. My question for the health department was, if we're going down this path, what's the threshold that then we can remove the masks? If you're going to do this, you've got to have an end game to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And no one could give us that answer. And so it was very difficult, because we knew that in order to maintain open schools for our students, we had to follow the law and follow the governor's lead. And so we did, and we did take a lot of heat for it. I wish I had pushed back more.
I was going to ask you that, because you didn't seem to worry about it too much, or give a hard pushback. Do you regret not doing so, looking back at it?
Absolutely. And not that I didn't push back, because I certainly did.
Right.
And ironically,
to a certain extent,
a lot of our local leadership were privy to the emails. I made sure to CC a lot of people, Alfie Oakes for one, Byron Donalds, lots of folks when I was emailing the governor's office asking for clarification on the masking. So, I did push, but I pushed behind the scenes, not forward facing.
Mhm.
And I think at that point, people needed to see someone fighting for them from the dais. Me fighting behind the scenes didn't give them a sense that I was fighting for them. So I totally understand that. I respect it. I have a lot of respect people like Christina Heusser, who, she came to a board meeting and she refused to wear her mask and, in fact, took it off. We called a recess. She was really, really she was a force of nature, really pushing and fighting during that time for people. And I have so much respect for it. She and I are friendly to this day. So I understand why people are upset. I understand the reason ultimately that I didn't have the support to get reelected. But I do feel like I did the best that I could do in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, you had a raw deal.
Given all the circumstances.
And, just to show what kind of great person Jen is, I won't get into too detail, but so there was a person on the other side of the campaign that had your sign in a mask, pretending that you were for masks. And you are now, I'm going to get to detail, but how compassionate you're helping that person now. So you don't take any of the stuff personal. And no matter, if someone did something wrong, you still have in your heart to forgive you and help someone like that. I mean, that just speaks volumes of your character. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Thank you for saying that. But I think that's the call of every Christian, though. It's not enough to say that you're a Christian. You have to walk the walk. And so this is a person who is I think good in his heart of hearts, wants to be good. He wants to be clean and sober for his kids. And so I'm rooting for that. I think he has the support of his wife and children. They're rooting for him as well. And so I think we just need to be mindful that, people are always watching. So, you have an opportunity to be a light in this world or not. And I feel like my prayer every day is that I pray that God would use me to be a light in the world.
That's the only person that counts that's watching, because I know you're doing this behind the scenes and as anonymous. So it's not like you're trying to do it for,
right.
You're doing it for all the right.
Well, and I mean by a person watching, what I mean is you have an opportunity to be an example to others as a Christian, I think.
So great people, Jen. I mean, I know you're from the state of Indiana. We won't hold that against you. Some Indiana.
Larry especially doesn't. Thank you, Larry.
What's the favorite part? I don't know if that's a compliment. How many great people have come out of Indiana besides Michael Jackson? And I mean, you're definitely number one. But
I really don't. Where you want me to start?
Indiana.
Yeah, you could say Mike Pence. You could say Mitch Daniels, and you don't definitely want to talk about basketball.
Mitch Daniels, Purdue
Mitch
University
Daniels
president.
A good guy. Mike Pence.
Mitch Daniels lives here, in Collier County now.
I did not know that part.
Yes,
really?
sir.
My man Mitch.
Your guy, yeah.
Your man Mitch.
That's his slogan. My man Mitch.
My man Mitch. He was my governor. That's
but
right.
it's a lot of good people come out of that.
No, I know. I'm just being facetious.
Julia Carson. She was a rep. May she rest in peace. Like, even though she was on the other opposite side of the aisle, but her and President Bush, may he rest as well, they had a very good relationship. I remember going to that funeral in Indiana, and I was just watching him, and as he spoke, and they were sitting on the front aisle, and I was just shocked, and I said, that's how it should be. That was true bipartisan, and he talked about his love that he had for Julian Carson. Mm-hmm. So, but politically, it's been some good people come up out of there.
Indiana's a good state. Now, you went to Purdue, correct?
Purdue University, that's right.
Purdue had a really great season last year. They phenomenal season.
It's about damn time.
But
Gene Keady ain't there no more.
Gene Keady ain't there, Glenn Robinson. But let's just kind of rewind. So they're having this unbelievable season. They're doing great in the tournament. And then what happened in the finals, Jen?
So my husband and I flew out to Phoenix with about 35 of our closest friends from Purdue.
Okay.
And had a great time, stayed at the team hotel with the Booster Club, had a great time. And they got beat. They made it to the Natty, though.
Who beat them?
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
UConn, UConn.
Yes, sir.
The biggest basketball powerhouse in the nation, back-to-back champs, going for a three-peat.
You said it, UConn. Y'all ain't no but some cons, man.
We don't get free shoes. Okay.
We don't either.
Free shoe use started at Florida State, my friend.
Fresno State.
Yeah.
Ferris State, one of them
When
schools.
Jerry Tarkanian was
I
there.
got 2 kids at Florida State. Be nice.
Well, but I'm surrounded by
It's-
Florida State people.
It's a reason why everybody go to Tallahassee, man. I keep
Because
trying to
anyone
tell you.
could get in. That's why.
That's a lie.
Listen, they're a top 20 university now in the nation. They're a top 20
Listen, we
public
don't have to.
university.
We don't have to explain
Top-
nothing to this
You're right.
gentleman.
We don't have to.
Top 20? I would
It's
hope
either
so.
you-
if
I wanna
you're
say
on
they're
the state
18,
of Florida
you-
State.
Hey, either you know, you show, or you just don't care. You just don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, and I can respect that.
Who's your school?
Well, UConn, obviously, being, from
Oh, I thought you were just rubbing
Connecticut.
that in my
No,
face.
no,
I
no, I'm a
didn't know you were-
UConn. I wouldn't
okay.
do that.
No,
Okay.
No, we just got to show respect to UConn.
no,
And
no,
the-
we don't.
So your guy was out
Yeah.
on the floor, literally coaching our guys during the game.
He's a great coach. Coach Hurley.
Not
He's very
cool.
involved. He
Not
likes to
cool.
coach not only his players,
Apparently.
but he likes to give pointers to other players. Very passionate. Also turned down $100 million from the Lakers to stay at UConn for half the money. So
yeah, that's
you got
real.
you
That-
got to
that was
respect
amazing.
that.
I did
Yeah,
think
I
that
mean, you
was
don't
amazing.
see that happen too much anymore.
Because he also know he'll only be there for 2 years and then he's done.
He'll take
He's
over the
smart.
Knicks job. Yeah.
No, you go out there to the Lakers, you can only coach for
Yeah.
about 2 years.
Oh, I thought you meant he'll stay at UConn
No.
for a year. He's going to move on to the NBA at some point. But you're right. I mean, once
College
LeBron
is safer, certainly. Although nowadays with the
NIL.
NIL makes it.
What do
more
you
like
guys think about the
professional sports.
NIL? Good for good for college sports, bad for college sports. I have really complete mixed feelings about it.
I don't. I
Well,
mean, it's in
speak
high
on it.
school. It's in high school now,
Which
and I love it.
Yeah, it's had a trickle down effect.
Man,
yeah.
listen, when you come from some environments, man, that gives kids a lot of motivation. So now a lot of these children out here that come from these broken homes, they don't have to sell drugs and do all that stealing and robbing and everything else. Because a lot of times they do it to just try to offset some of the expense from their parents. I mean, I've seen this. Well,
but Larry,
but Larry, what?
we're from the old school. There's a lot of kids with those same circumstances that found a way to get out of the hood, whether playing football, basketball. They didn't need to be paid in high school. They knew that the end goal was to go to college. Whether you get a degree or not, that's up to debate.
Where you get that information
And
from?
Get what information?
So I'll say this:
Man.
I think there's been some pay to play going on for many years. So now
Sure,
we
I
just,
get that to
we've
a
just
certain
made it
extent,
legal.
but
My
when you
era,
have it in the open like that,
but there's
My
going to
era-
have to be some cap.
all the
I think-
hustlers was
I think
giving
we're
money.
moving towards salary
Yeah.
cap.
So it's like,
But I actually agree with Larry. I
Yeah.
think the kids are bringing in billions of dollars
share the wealth.
to institutions, and
Share the
so
wealth.
sounds like a Democrat.
and their hands are tied
No.
in terms of their ability to have jobs and things like that. So I think I'm all for it with some guardrails, and I think that's where we're going. I think the salary cap is going to have to come into play there at some point at the college level.
Let's think about firefighters, right? How do firefighters get paid? You know how they get paid?
How do they get paid?
I'm asking.
Well,
Property taxes, right? That's how their salaries.
Right.
Property taxes, right? So if you're in North Naples,
You get
that's every firefighter dream.
sure.
There's no fires going on, and they getting paid real good. So now you take another firefighter in Immokalee, Florida. It's nothing out there but some trailers and habitat homes.
Mhm.
So they're not really making anything.
Okay.
So when the opportunity presents itself, for them just doing the right things, so when they can go to North Naples and apply themselves to get paid for it, that's the right thing to do, right? I'm just asking, is that the right thing to do? So what I'm saying is, what's the difference?
You're comparing apples to
No, I'm not.
balls.
Because now you have kids that are now able to earn some money legally while playing a sport that they love. You go to college to do what? Make money, get a degree so you can earn money. So I have a trade that I'm very gifted at, and I can start early, make me some money. I was in high school, man. I was working the fields. All us in the market were working the fields to make money,
Mhm.
to help offset the cost.
Correct.
So now I'm able to play ball, and I only have to try to go do this, and they're giving me a few dollars here.
You,
I'm doing that every time.
But let's
you don't
talk
think that
about-
instills a kind of character and a toughness going through that adversity, having to do that to make you a better person and a better player? I mean,
That make you hungry. That make
It
you
make-
want to be a dog. That make you want to bust
Exactly.
your butt in the classroom,
Yes.
bust your butt on the field.
Right.
So
If
if I
you-
could do all this, That mean I can
You
earn money?
You telling me if a 16-year-old kid's getting 50, 100 grand waved at him, he's not going to lose some of his hunger?
They're going to make him go even harder.
How many times have you seen in the NFL or any sports when a guy gets paid, he gets lackadaisical?
That's either you love the game or you don't love the game. That's why a lot of players now resigning and retiring from the game. It's either you love it. They got that Brett Favre, Steve McNair, that type of love, Brady type of love, where money don't even matter.
Right.
It's either in you. You're a dog. And if you're not a dog, it don't matter if you got a lot of money or none. You just, well, let me just do this to get by. And then it always shows. It always shows.
Well, and if you're great, the money comes. But I think
Bingo.
Going back to some of the other issues where we need some guardrails in terms of capping, the fact that coaches have to re-recruit their kids every year. We've got to put something into place that says, listen, you can't be jumping ship every single year to get paid
how about
at the next one?
When coaches jump ship and the players are locked into those schools too? So it goes both ways.
It does, absolutely. I'm just saying, I think there needs to be a salary cap, and B, a cap on the number of times you can move in your college career.
That I tend to agree with. I mean, you see guys down 4 different schools in 4 years. That's a little ridiculous.
They run from competition.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
It's unfair to these mid majors and lower majors, because if you play a guy early on and he shines, he's out of there by his junior year going to a big time school. So it really handicaps these mid majors and smaller
put the time
schools.
and energy into developing
them.
Right.
What's up?
Let's get back to Jen. Jen almost got me beat up at the CCREC.
But someone jumped in there.
Yeah, I jumped myself in.
Oh.
Jen, tell me, you almost got me beat up, Jen. And then you had the whole CCRC.
Now wait.
Stop.
We keep it real on this show. Let's be.
Yeah, you're right, because no one was gonna beat me up.
No one was gonna beat you up. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's number one.
No, that's
number 2. Good. Let's be real. You wore a Jen Mitchell shirt to that meeting.
I sure did.
Tell me that you were not looking for a reaction wearing that shirt. I respect the heck. That's something I would have done too. And I love that about you. But look at me. Be 100% real. You knew when you put that shirt on.
It was going down.
Listen.
I
knew I no. I'm gonna tell you.
Let's keep it all the way.
We're gonna keep it a buck. First of all, I'm not a favorite in the room. So it's 2 tears in the bucket. Take it to the stage. So I support Jen. No one gonna tell me who I can support and who I can not support. What people really didn't know at that time, like the phone calls I was receiving and everything else. I never in my life sat in the front of the CCRC meeting. Never, except for that night there. And I seen the cop. So I said, man, you know what? The cop got a pistol. I sit up to the front by the cop. Yeah, I wore my shirt. Hell, everyone in the room didn't like Jen. I support Jen. So if you're going to do something, you're going to do it regardless. I ain't never ran from not one man. You can ask anybody. Either you're going to do me or I'm going to do you. I'm not never going to run, period. So I'm in there. I support Jen. They don't give somebody the right to want to do something to me. And so if you really think I'm going to let 3 men jump on me.
It was more than that, but.
Well, I had 3, and then the one talking about, I couldn't wait to kill you. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's get it then. I've cut from a different cloth.
I ran into one of those guys at recently too.
Hey, I guess they thought I was about to cower up. No, this is a type of, hey, man, I'm different.
My T-shirt caused all kinds of trouble around
I know.
town.
I love it too.
A dear friend of mine, Richard Granis, was kicked out of seated table for wearing that
Yeah, he
T-shirt.
was. See, I didn't like that because that's an old man. Like, they poured beer on the dude. Like, do that to somebody young. Do that to me. Just like, don't do that to an elderly, man. That's cowards.
Well, but again, if we're Freedom Town, USA,
You just took the words out of my mouth.
then what's the problem with my T-shirt?
Oh, no. I should have got paid for wearing that T-shirt.
You already collect enough checks. You're good.
I'm not collecting nothing. Stop.
It was brave. It was certainly brave. Listen, I was in that room. I joined the REC back in 2017. I, made phone calls for President Trump, for Governor DeSantis as my precinct committee woman, long before some of those folks were even in that room. So it was disappointing that I didn't have the support, but.
And you handled it so. I'm just going back to how well you handled it, and I get a little kick out of the people that now are upset with the person that they went hard for.
Man, that's Jan Fred now.
Well, that's fine. You're welcome. But
Yeah.
the people that really wanted, her to get in there, I won't even mention the person's name, but now they're complaining about her. So it's like,
Right.
You reap what you sow.
So it goes, to me, it flies in the face of everything that President Trump stands for when he talks about drain the swamp. Drain the swamp is about no more pay to play, right? It's about leveling the playing field for the working man. And the fact is, what they have done to her, and she's now the board chair, is, they've turned on her because there was no pay to play. They can't control her. She actually is making decisions that are in the best interest of students. She promised bold and courageous. I have so much respect that she's delivered on that. Because for me, it was about the kids. That's all it was ever about.
And I respect that, but that's where, you get some backlash because of the school board candidates. We support it. But it's like, at the end of the day, you're kind of limited to what you could go in and do it. And I think these people know that, but they run on all these different agendas. And then you get in there and you realize there's really only so much you can do. So that's why, I respect Eric and Stephanie Lucarelli so much, because they have been good people. And again, they try to, they'll label them Democrats and this and
Right.
that, but they're,
which is just an outright lie. And the fact is, you're one of 5 people on a board. You're very much required. You take an oath at the beginning to follow state statute. And so, at the end of the day, there isn't this perceived power, as some would say.
right. But they run on like they're going to go in there and
turn it all upside down. And
who's the principal from Stand By?
Joe Clark.
Yeah, but they're going to go all Joe Clark.
Not
on the
Stand
Collier,
on Me, Lean on Me.
Lean on Me. Sorry about that. Completely different movie, but
New
they're just going to go and drop the hammer. It doesn't work like that.
But,
so
we had a real Joe Clark in the Markley High.
yeah, Mr. Primus.
He cleaned that school.
He was,
up.
Mr.
Was that
Mr.
during
Primus
your day or
is-
after you were there?
My senior year.
Your senior year?
Mr. Primus would spank kids.
Man, let me quick story about Mr. Primus, right? Man, we in school, it was that era there. It's like, it was real villains. Like, we had a barbed wire fence around the entire school. Just like, you come in and you can't come out. Like, it was going down. We had all type of race fights. Whites versus, well, there's only a few of those, but
I was going to say that.
the Mexicans versus the Haitians versus the blacks versus the Mexicans during that time. So Clark, man, Joe have his pants pulled up right here, almost to his chest, walking through the hall. You think you tough? You want to fight? Let's fight then. I'm not scared of you. You can go get your daddy. You can go get your mama. Go get whoever. But we're going to fight since you like to fight. Now what you want to do, punk?
Oh my gosh.
But see, we tough, so we understood that it was a New Jack principle for a New Jack era. He got the school right. Because really, even though I wasn't there 4 years, but it was 4 principles in 4 different years. And Primus, man, he knew what it took.
That's tough.
He knew what he was dealing with. So it's like, you couldn't be no pansy coming out there dealing with these type of kids. Like, you got to show them, I will go there with you. Shoot, we was all afraid. We all respected Primus. We call him Prime Dog. Man, they were Prime Dog. People beeline the class.
It's that healthy fear, right?
Yeah.
That healthy fear, that respect of authority. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I think that's what kids want.
well, kids need to know you care about them.
That's
Yeah.
it. We knew
You don't
Prime.
need to be a friend to your kid.
That's right.
You need to be a parent. And
That's
I
right.
think that's lost today. Are you a Colts fan?
Am I a what fan?
Indianapolis Colts?
I am, not as much as I was, because Peyton left and went to the Broncos. And the
But you were-
Broncos
you
are
were
my
a Colts
husband's
fan.
lifelong team. So
Larry spent 6 years in
I was
Indianapolis.
a Colts Saints fan, yeah. Drew Brees and Peyton Manning.
Drew Brees.
Who's your besides Peyton Manning, top 5 Colts of all time?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Top-
man. You got to go with Black Shoes, even though that's Baltimore. But,
Johnny U.
yeah, man. I just watching him and everything else, them highlights. Of course, I got to go with the home team, EJ. I'm going with home team again.
His kid played pretty good last night, huh?
Yeah. Listen, going with another home team, Albert Bentley. If you're from the crib and you there, I'm going to support you, and you're going to always be the best, whether you're the best or not to me. You
Mhm.
got there. Marvin Harrison, that's Mr. Crazy, man.
People don't know.
Hey, and then you got to go with Reggie. You got to go with Weeze. Like, I hate that it's all offense, because really I can go defense too.
Dwight Freeney, Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, my God.
Connecticut guy. Didn't know that.
And
Yeah,
like
Dwight Freeney from
Gary Brackett, Thornton,
Bob Sanders.
Bob, even though them injuries, him and Mike Dawes, like, man, it was some real good guys. Mathis.
Dallas Clark.
I mean, even
Dallas Clark.
He's
tight
even
great
my
at tight
old
end.
mate, Corey Simon, he came through there.
Yeah.
So it's like on defense, but those my top
So you
five
said Reggie Wayne and Edgerrin are in your top 5.
all day long.
What's interesting about that is they went to Miami, also known as the U. So
But it's also it's like relatives, like family, it's like
No.
love. So it's different when you
I
personally know
love how you
somebody.
spin everything.
Like that's not spinning.
I-
You got a personal relationship
Gotta
I'm
with
root
just
for
somebody.
him.
saying that.
Gotta
You-
root
so
for
you
them.
gotta
all the
root
great
for 'em.
players come out of the U. It's
And I
fine.
said, okay, you forgot to even mention Albert Bentley because I put Albert Bentley in that for him, because he's from a Immokalee, so it's like, and he also a big conservative. So yeah, I support home team all the time. It's like,
And we don't got much time left. We're gonna play a little rapid fire too. But what's I asked people to send in questions, and one of the favorite pizza place in Naples.
That is so tough.
I know, but it's because we have these debates with with people and stuff.
Cosmos is great. I love Mr. 01.
yeah, I didn't get no Mr. 01.
You'll get it after the show. Sorry, interrupted
Patrick.
Larry's lunch date.
Y'all remember Angelo's Pizza?
Remember
Back in the
Angelo's.
day, Pavilion, the Lucarelli family owns that.
Oh, really?
Owned that. Yeah.
Oh, and
Great
before I
pizza.
forget, Jackie, I want to give her a shout out
Yes.
to,
Jackie Arteline.
I think, the best volunteer that I see. And there's some great ones. Tim had a bunch on his campaign. Yvette obviously had a lot of great ones, but
Diane Harris, she was everywhere with Tim.
Diane Harris is the GOAT. I
Yeah,
mean, she
she
goes
is the
back
GOAT.
to Team Donald's to
Yeah,
Diane Harris.
she
is
in a
the GOAT.
class of her own.
She's great.
But
Yeah.
Jackie, I mean, I could be driving down Pine Ridge. I could go to Orange Blossom. She's got a sign waving 100+ degree weather, smile on her face, pleasant, friendly debates when people are questioning about
Absolutely.
Lucarelli.
Class act.
So I really just want to acknowledge her. And she did something recently too. Someone was in an accident or something?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So election day, she arrives at the polling station at 6:45. She's going to greet and stand there for Eric and Stephanie. And she sees a car in the lake sinking with an 80-year-old woman trying to get out her window. Jackie didn't hesitate. She ran straight into the water and helped get her out and
Wow.
and literally dried off and stood
When I
there and
read that, I'm
held
like, is there anything
cards.
she doesn't? I mean, just great human being, always a smile and pleasant. And one of the things, this was a nasty election cycle. I absolutely hated it. But one of the things I did enjoy seeing, as far as I could see, I saw Pam Cunningham and Stephanie Lucarelli side by side at Orange Blossom. Friendly. No, I could be wrong here. I hope I'm not. But everything, just seeing converse and being civil. I mean, that to me, that I appreciate seeing that, especially
yeah.
after.
So Steph's not going to be any other way. She's just a great girl. So she would never let it get out of control.
And
So
It's usually with the school board. It's usually not the candidates. It's the people who supporting the candidates.
Yeah,
that's what I come to notice.
That's
good observation. I think you're right about that.
It's a little fanatical about
a
it.
little bit.
Yeah.
Back to Jackie real quick. So as great of a campaign volunteer she is, and she was really the lifeblood of the school board campaign for Eric and Stephanie, just in charge of all the volunteers and stuff. But she's a school volunteer. She not only, when she's not substitute teaching at Naples Park, where her children and now her grandchildren attend, she's volunteering on that PTO. She is just a great lady. She's all in on our kids here in Collier County.
You can tell. I mean, she's definitely very passionate about it. And which too reminds me, before we run out of time, do you want to talk about the autism school that you guys will be next?
So we
year?
are actually we submitted our application to the district to open Autism Collier Charter School. Myself, Steph Norden, who has been an amazing advocate for families with special needs. And so she actually worked with Kathleen Pasadoma on some legislation that really benefited special needs families last year. And so she and I are really excited about that. We submitted our application to the district last month. We have an interview coming up in September, and it'll go before the school board, hopefully, for their approval in October.
It's amazing.
So a much needed resource here in Collier County. Not that Collier County Public Schools isn't doing a great job, but we think that we'll be able to help them in terms of meeting the needs of students, maybe shrinking the range
Mm-hmm.
that we're asking our teachers, because we're asking teachers to do so much.
Mm-hmm.
We hope to shrink the range of needs that they're being expected to meet. So we hope it will be a great partnership, and looking forward to that. Your buddy Gary Price was
Yeah.
the first person I went to ask to join our board. He didn't hesitate. Very grateful for that. We have some really great community leaders that are joining
Good,
our board.
Good for you. And then we'll round it out with a little rapid fire. I
Okay.
just kind of threw a couple together real quick because, like I said, it was kind of a last minute show. So I'll kind of make some up as I go. Well, this has been a popular one. Zanzibar or Witch's Brew?
Have to be Zanzibar.
Okay.
Witch's Brew wasn't a thing when I was,
What wasn't? No?
not for my age group.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair. Yeah. True. Captain's Cabin or Crazy Flamingo?
Crazy Flamingo.
Trulux or Chops?
Trulux.
I think Trulux might be the best all around
I
restaurant.
would agree.
If I have
Whether
to go
it's
for a
seafood,
birthday,
steak.
what?
I'm not saying anything.
You looked up. You finally got off your phone. Looked up.
Man,
Have you been
stop.
to Trulux?
Yeah.
You like Trulux? What's
That's
Larry?
cool.
What's Larry's current favorite restaurant?
I'm going to always say Aqua.
Yeah.
Yes. Aqua.
Okay. Let's see. What else can we go with? BT Boomers or Sports Page?
So for me, Sports Page, but can I just tell you a quick story
Yeah.
about BT Boomers? So when my husband was in high school, they used to have like $5 all you can eat wings. And so my husband and his O-line buddies would go, and I want to say they were like eating in the 60s and 70s wings.
Mm-hmm.
So they were winning.
And those were big wings too.
Yeah.
They had really good
So
wings.
they were winning. But they would go every Thursday night. They had game Friday, and they would go Thursday night with all their buddies to BT Boomers and get the wing special and clean them out.
If someone opened the place and just called it BT Boomers and brought back the nostalgia of it,
Genius.
a home run.
Genius.
I mean, it's
Couldn't agree more.
the only problem is you can't get wings those size anymore, and they're a little bit more expensive. They were in the 90s, but just from a nostalgia point of view,
You
I think
probably
it-
can. They're just engineered beyond what you would probably want to eat.
Yeah.
I have one.
Yeah.
James Dean, John Mellencamp, or Babyface.
So James Dean was from Indiana, right?
Well, they're all from Indiana.
Marion. Yeah.
Okay. And
John Mellencamp for
Mellencamp.
Seymour.
yeah,
And of course, Babyface is from Indy.
I did not know that
Yeah.
about Baby. I had no idea.
I-70. I-70 is named after Kenneth Edmonds.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So that's easy for me. One of the first albums I ever purchased was John Mellencamp's album.
I want to know what is in Jen Mitchell's playlist. You're going on a road trip. I want to know
I'll be asleep.
what's that.
I say I'll probably be asleep.
You'd be
listening to
asleep.
her.
Well, probably,
Might.
yeah.
It's a lot of different stuff. It's Creedence
Oh,
Clearwater Revival
Oh, yeah, yeah. Scott.
to some rap, a lot of Elevate worship music.
You listen to
um,
rap?
Don't do Kamala Harris
not-
here.
Don't do
nothing-
don't do Kamala Harris.
So don't throw it out because
Nothing-
you will get questioned on it. Who
Nothing
do you like?
explicit.
It don't have to be
It doesn't.
explicit.
No, absolutely. Who do you like for hip hop? If you don't mind me asking. See, I put you on the
Let me
spot.
get my phone out. I got a lot.
Was
That's
it
what
like
her
newer
kids.
stuff?
Her
or-
kids put it in there. They're like, Mom, I think you need to listen to this. That's what. That's all it was.
No, I've got some good stuff.
You got some good
I've
stuff.
got some Drake. I've got some T-Pain. I've got some.
See,
I'm
It's
gonna-
the
I've got some
bartender.
good stuff. There's some
yeah,
good
very
stuff in there.
better than riding around
I
with
got
Tim.
some
It's all
50
Taylor
Cent.
Swift stuff. I get enough Taylor Swift stuff with my daughter.
Radio,
to
you
hop
know,
in
the
Tim's-
radio stuff. The radio. Nothing explicit.
It didn't have to be. I just
50 Cent. What's your favorite 50 Cent song?
I want to see Jen jamming out. I want to see her jamming out to
I
some
mean,
hip hop.
Into Club probably is
That's
like the
Tim's
hit,
favorite
right?
too. Yeah,
Hey,
I know
Jen,
that's the.
when you be because you drive a big vehicle.
I
So
do.
you know it's funny. Like y'all little women be driving big vehicles. Like I see Erica with the big Suburban.
She's got a
She had
big
the big
boy.
Does she still
Suburban.
have her Suburban?
Yeah.
Does she?
So when let's just say in the club come on, do you be bobbing when the song come on? Do you be bobbing as you drive?
Of course.
So
Absolutely.
we need to make a road trip just for that.
Oh my god!
Absolutely.
With
I'm
some
sure
50.
I embarrassed my children, but yeah, I do.
I want to see Jen Mitchell bump into 50. That will make my day.
Oh my. Mellencamp, huh? John Mellencamp.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, always a pleasure seeing you, Jen. Great that we, as you said, it was fate that
It
this
was
it
fate.
really is. It
So
just kind of
happy to be
happened by
here.
accident. Did you want to use this opportunity on our show today to announce that you will be running for school board in 2026?
Oh,
Not a chance.
Oh, I'm about
No
to say,
way.
whoa.
Listen,
Darn.
they don't need me. They're doing a good job without me. They don't need me.
I beg to disagree, but that's okay.
Do.
Most of them, but
I don't live in districts 1 or 5.
you can always move.
I don't know why you call those two. Well, it's going to be 3 up.
Jerry, Tim,
And Kelly.
But I live in District 3. And the person
gonna
living in
be
my district is
It's
doing
going
a
to be
good
some
job.
smoke in the city.
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun race to watch. I can't wait to watch that one. But
I do not miss being the candidate. I can tell you that. It was a lot more fun to hold the sign for my friends.
And you did a great job too. Speaking of campaigning and volunteering, you were out there and yeah, amazing. So just selfless, great person. Just a complete
Thank
pleasure to
you.
have you on our show, Jen.
Love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah,
Always
we
a good time.
appreciate it.
Appreciate.
Politicking podcast, Jira Larry Love, brought to you by Jimmy P's Burgers and More. New location opening next month. Want to thank Helena, Burdette Marketing, always does a great job for us. We appreciate that.
Dirty Diana over there.
Dirty Diana, always killing it, doing behind the scenes. Want to thank Tim for letting us use the studio as always. 239 Uncensored, the top podcast studio.
Is there any love and hate today?
We got 2 minutes, Tim. Love and hate.
What's the love and hate?
Man, I gotta. There's
Yeah, you said you were
so
gonna
many
do that.
questions, and some of these I couldn't even ask Larry on air, let alone personally. But one is okay. We got to make these real quick, okay?
ahead.
I don't need the whole Larry spiel and stuff. Why are you so passionate about 239?
Because this home, I'm gonna always carry it on my shoulders. Let everybody know where I come from in the area. There's a good people here, very great people. So I love this area. No matter where
Always
I go.
come back.
Always, I have to be here. You know, especially as long as my grandmother's here.
Real quick, this is not one of questions. You travel everywhere. Where's your favorite place to go right now?
My favorite place where I ever been in my life is Montana. I went to Montana. I was in law school, and it was during my birthday time. I went up there for a conference, a moot trial, and I just ended up staying like 3 or 4 extra days. It's just beautiful, just relaxation, and big sky country. I mean, it was just peaceful.
What does Larry Love eat in Montana? I picture you eating a big steak.
Bison?
Actually, I ate some bison and elk all day.
Good.
And it's so good, so good.
And then someone wants to ask about your background. Well, if you don't know about Larry, that would be a whole show to digest. Besides a worthless piece of paper degree from Florida State, what was your career path after college?
Of
That's
course,
how it was worded.
I went to Indianapolis. I was working with the Colts organization and with Edrin, so that was pretty cool for 6 years.
Okay. Well, keep them coming. Well, I promise I'll get to all of them, and please keep them somewhat
G-rated?
PG.
Yeah.
Or at least PG rated. Some
We
of
don't need
these
the
are.
FCC giving us a hard time.
Yeah. We don't need anyone to come after Larry. YouTube, please
It's
like
uncensored.
and subscribe. Got the link show on the bio on Instagram, and Instagram follow. Actually, what I do, we're close to 3,000 followers. I will do a Jimmy P's gift card to our 3,000 follower on Instagram. So please follow us on Instagram.
Fantastic.
Woo!
Thank you, Jen.
Guys?
It's been fun.